Would you like to 10x your productivity and stop feeling so overworked and overwhelmed? Welcome to the Extreme Productivity Podcast with New York Times bestselling author and Inc. 500 entrepreneur, Kevin Kruse.
Hey, thanks for joining me. Kevin Kruse here, helping you to master your minutes. We only have 1,440 minutes in the day. And my goal, my dream, is to get you so productive that you get 60 more minutes back to spend as you like. And you know what? I actually did a big survey, thousands of people, and I said, what would you do if you had an extra hour a day? And before I reveal the answer, what would you do if you had an extra 60 minutes in your day? Well, number one answer, survey says, read, which I would not have guessed. The number one thing people would do if they had an extra hour of the day is they would read more. Number two, exercise. Number three, sleep. And number four, spend more time with my family. So family comes in fourth, reading comes in number one. Today, we're going to talk about that sleep thing, which is obviously so important. Now, in the last episode, I talked about the great Rory Vaden's company and how they're using Mad Meeting Mondays to actually grow like a weed. They've doubled in size in the last couple of years. They're going to do it again. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 ways to sleep better from the new book called Sleep Smarter by Shawn Stevenson. So, listen, before I dive into this show, I encourage you to hop onto Amazon.com and grab a copy. It is so affordable. 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management. My new book. One reviewer wrote me, RJ Kelly said, love, love, love your book. And Arfa Saira wrote, I've already doubled my productivity and reduced the amount of time I'm working daily. Honestly, this is just amazing. And no, those are not distant cousins or bribed book reviewers. So anyway, I think by the book, this show is based on material in the book. Every single day, people write in saying it has changed their life. So would you like to get more from your 6 hours of sleep at night than others get from a full 8? And this is important to me because, we all hear sleep is important, get 8 hours of sleep a night. It's just not realistic. I mean, I'm a single dad with 3 kids, juggling multiple businesses, trying to have some semblance of a social life, distant third. And 8 hours of sleep is just not realistic for most of us. So I like to talk about sleep quality over sleep quantity, and that's why I love this new book. Sleep quality is the magic behind so many health things, like everything from effective weight loss to looking more youthful, decreased risk for cardiovascular things like stroke or heart attack. Better sleep is for lower stress, better mental health, improved memory. I mean, everything. It's like the secret ingredient to all the good stuff we want in life. When I interviewed hundreds of high achievers for my research on extreme productivity, many people mentioned that productivity starts with getting a good night's sleep. We can't actually manage time. We can manage our energy, our focus, and attention. And in addition to things like using food as fuel, staying hydrated, sleep is at the top of the list to sustain our energy. So there's a new book out. After you buy a copy of mine, buy this one, Sleep Smarter, 21 Essential Strategies to Sleep Your Way to a Better Body, Better Health, and Bigger Success from Shawn Stevenson. And it teaches, tactics and techniques to get the best quality sleep possible, whether or not you're getting total, bedtime of 8 hours. So Stevenson offers 21 strategies and a 14-day action plan to implement them. But I've picked out like 5 that resonate with me that I wanted to share on this short podcast. So strategy number 1, get more sunlight. So ironically, to have a better night's sleep, you need to spend more time in the sun because the sunlight affects our circadian timing system, our built-in 24-hour clock. So it starts ticking when we get some sunlight in the morning, letting us know that the day has started and it's going to start that 24-hour clock cycle. So ideally, you want to get some sunshine between 6 o'clock in the morning and 8:30 in the morning. It'd be nice to get 30 minutes of direct sunlight, and it's not... you don't even want to be using sunglasses because that filters out some of what you want. Ideally, it's that morning walk around the block or walk in the park or drive to work, getting some sun in the morning. But that's ideal. If you can't get it in the morning, then at least get some sunshine when you take a 5 or 10 minute break, walk around your building at work, or take a lunch break and go for a walk. Get outside as much as you can. Strategy number 2, avoid screens before bedtime. I'm talking about digital screens. So cutting out, digital screen time at night is really the number one thing we can do to immediately improve our sleep, according to Sean Stevenson. So think about your TVs, the computer, your mobile phone. They all emit a blue spectrum of light that can trigger the release of these daytime hormones, and it will disorient our body's preparation for bedtime sleep. Instead of releasing the hormones that say, hey, it's just about bedtime, these blue lights going to say, oh, must be morning, must be daytime. So consider a screen curfew at least 90 minutes before bed. Put away that Kindle. Don't read your Kindle or iPad in bed. Don't be doing work from your computer. Or you can buy, I think they're very affordable, like again on Amazon or somewhere, these blue light blocking glasses. They're going to be like nerdy looking glasses that you put on if you're going to be using screens at night. And then this is just hot off the press. So I'm recording this in April of 2016. The new version of iOS from Apple, 9.3, has a feature called Night Shift. So you can go into your settings and enable Night Shift, and it will turn off that blue spectrum of light when you're using your phone or your iPad, in the evening hours. So that's pretty cool. Third strategy: implement a caffeine curfew. But that's a tongue twister. So listen, now I know you've heard this, but listen to the details here. This is important. Caffeine, as you know, any caffeinated drink, whether it's coffees or sodas, they're going to keep you up at night, but you probably don't realize how big a problem it can be. So caffeine has a very long half-life, from 5 to 8 hours. And, we all metabolize it a little bit differently, but it's very long. So even drinking coffee 6 hours or more before bedtime can still have a big effect on your body. You're going to be going to bed, even late into the evening, and you're still going to have caffeine in your system. In one study, participants consumed caffeine 6 hours before bedtime, and the physiological measurements showed that they lost an average of 1 hour of sleep at night, even though these people weren't aware of it. They didn't know they were losing sleep. Now, how can that be? So the idea, I suffered from this for a long time. I mean, back when I was young and dumb, working 100 hours a week, I lived on coffee and Red Bull. And I would joke with people and say, I could drink a Red Bull. I literally would drink a Red Bull or a cup of coffee at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And at 11 o'clock at night, my head would hit the pillow and I would be unconscious. I would be out. I didn't think it was affecting me. And then a sleep expert got a hold of me and said, Kevin, first of all, if you're falling asleep in less than 5 minutes when your head hits that pillow, it shows you're overly tired. You're so exhausted, you're redlining it. But he says, second of all, when we go to sleep, we've got the sleep cycles from that shallow sleep, which is our REM sleep, our dream sleep, down into deep sleep. And it's that deep sleep that is restorative, that anchors memories, that all that good stuff is happening. And he says, listen, you're passing out, but all that caffeine in your body is keeping you up into a shallower level of sleep. You're not consciously aware of it, but you're not reaching enough of that deep sleep. And absolutely, that's the case where I would sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then I'd get out of bed and I would be exhausted. I never understood why. So as a rule, consider a caffeine ban after 2 p.m. Long term, they suggest, Sean Stevenson suggests giving up caffeine entirely or only using it when you really need it on those deadlines. And in fact, once you get off caffeine, the potency, your body sort of detoxes, and then it becomes much more potent when you do take it. So strategy number 4, you might not have thought about this one, but keep your room chilly. When it's time to sleep, our body's core temperature drops. But if our environment is too hot and our body stays too hot, then again, that counteracts that cooling signal to our body to say, hey, you want to go hibernate now. You want to go sleep now. So ideally, studies say the temperature should be between 60 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. If you can't get your room that cold, or if your bed partner likes it a little warmer and hasn't bought off on all this, then one advanced strategy is you can buy a cooling pad so that each side of the bed can be set at a different temperature. Just like they have heating pads, they have cooling pads that you can put under your, under the sheets of your bed. Final strategy number 5, create a sleep sanctuary. Now, I like this idea, and this chapter was one of my favorites a lot, even though, admittedly, it's the lightest on science. So Sean Stevenson writes, humans are creatures of habit and habitat. And he says that our brain, as we're scanning our environment, we're looking for repeatable patterns or rituals, signals. And if we use our bedroom for watching TV or, sitting up in bed and working or hanging out or whatever, then, when we climb into bed, when we go into our bedroom, it's going to send that subconscious signal that, hey, maybe we're not ready for sleep. Maybe we're just going to be hanging out. So ideally, look, the bedroom is used for sleep and for sex. That's pretty much it. And you're going to want to create a sleep sanctuary, a beautiful environment that will calm you down, chill you out, give you a good mood, a good vibe, so you can do one of those two things. I mean, think about it. This is not an uncommon feeling. Like if you're really stressed out, I know I get this. If I'm really stressed out, really busy, one of the first things I've got to do is like clean my desk and clean my office. Even though I shouldn't spend time on it, it's like, it's driving me crazy. I need my outside environment to look organized so I'll feel more organized and calm internally. So how do you create a sleep sanctuary? Well, just some ideas. You might consider installing a humidifier to keep the air, nice and moist. Think about like a jungle habitat or something. You're going to want to bring in air purifying plants. You can Google that and you'll see all the plants that will recycle our air and keep the air really fresh. English ivy is a great one. And again, just having plants everywhere is going to make it look really cool. A lot of people swear by scents. And jasmine oil, like put a drop of jasmine oil on your pillows or something like that. A lot of people can really use aromatherapy to calm themselves, to relax before bedtime. The goal is to create this sleep sanctuary so you walk in and you're instantly feeling peaceful, calm, and relaxed. So, too many people are putting their physical and mental health at risk because of poor sleep habits. Get this book called Sleep Smarter by Sean Stevenson. There's 21 specific strategies. I just gave you 5, and he's got a 14-day sleep makeover plan that's going to help you to implement all these strategies. Remember, we're talking about extreme productivity. If you want to achieve more with less stress, every day is game day. And think about professional athletes. What are they doing before game day? They are making sure they're getting a great night's sleep. You should think about that too. So how do you apply it right away? Dare I suggest that you put a little note in your calendar that triggers at 2 p.m. that says, remember, no more coffee, no more sodas. Dare I suggest that when you go home tonight, you have a little chat with your bed partner and say, yo, listen, no more watching TV in bed. No more listening to podcasts, even if Kevin Kruse has an awesome podcast. No more listening to it out loud in the bedroom. No more stomping around when I'm already in bed. No more leaving the night light on while you're reading. Bedtime is for 2 things, so let's get on the same page. And if you really are struggling, back to Amazon.com, buy some earplugs, buy a sleep mask, and that's going to help you to keep a dark, quiet environment. All right. Make sure before you go that you're going to hop over and subscribe to this podcast in iTunes or Stitcher, because I don't want you to miss a single episode. And if you've got a question for me, I will definitely answer it. Definitely an email and possibly on the air. Or just say hi. Send me an email. I'm at kevin@kevinkruse.com. Until next week, remember, master your minutes to master your life.